everybody, Zeidoktor here, and this episode of the Typical Manga Review is going to be dedicated to One Piece, Chapter 856, Liar. Our cover this week, we have a monster monkey in a tree, a crab and a robot, and Frankie. It's like, request is Frankie giving a crab a mecha body to protect it from a bullying monkey. Also, what I notice here is that we have the mecha body is labeled BC09, so Battle Crab 9, I guess. So go Frankie, being a nice guy. In the chapter proper, we're in the mirror world, and apparently nobody's got any information on, none of the mirrors have any information on where Sanji or Luffy are. Not even in Sanji's room, where there's some weirdo sleeping instead. Fortunately, Nami has an idea of where to go, since if it's outside, so there aren't any mirrors, they could be at the place where Luffy and Sanji had fought that morning. Which gets Chopper up to like, wait, they had a fight? Jim may think to himself that, given his place in the Vinsmoke family, he must have had a good reason to come here. He will not be easy to bring back. But if we are to retrieve him, it should be soon. I was going to tell you once everyone was together, but I may as well now. Matter of fact, when the ceremony gets going tomorrow, it will be anything but ordinary. And Jimmy goes on to explain that, ask about Peckham's, like, yeah, we got separated from him. I can tell you now he's fine, but there's a conspiratorial plot that nearly succeeded in having him fed to the sharks. If we hadn't been aware of it, he'd be dead right now. So that kind of explains what happened to Peckham before. It's like he was thrown in the water, but the fistman apparently saved his neck. Out in the streets of Sweet City, people are hearing gunshots, but it's like, it's hard to hear in the rain, so they're not sure if it's gunshots or a barking dog. But we know it's gunshots, because apparently we see Bobbin, who is going to go and dispose of the problem with Sanji, collapsing after being shot. Some figures kind of rocking off in the fog. In the guest room in the 6th floor bomb, all the ladies that Big Mom had apparently sent over to entertain the Vinsmokes are down for the count, while all the guys are still chucking their booze. Like Yon's like, how does the barmaid lose in the drinking contest? And they're thinking, like, if they were going to send women, they must prefer Nami, because, yes, I like a nice, strong girl, which is, I think, Niji, or Ichiji. I legitimately cannot tell which of those is which. Like, they got a prisoner, maybe we can trade tomorrow. At that point, though, Judge stops him like, let's not go overboard with drinks. The real party is tomorrow. With the backing of the fearsome Big Mom, Jerma will once again rule the North Blue. Tomorrow is our first celebration of that fact. I suppose that failure did turn out to have its uses after all. You know, just like, that's true, Sanji was our bait and we got a real whopper with him. I'm gonna assume Niji is someone we're going in order here. When our foes see Big Mom's flag on the Germa fleet, they'll lose all desire to fight. And then Ichiji's like, we can conquer the seas with greater power than ever before. We have to thank Sanji. Ha! To our failure. To our cheerfully useless brother. Usefully useless brother. Cheers. And we see like little homies in there, like a barrel, like a little heart face on the wall. They're just kind of like watching this with the little ellipses things going. Outside the Vinsmoke guest room, their soldiers are being ordered not to let anyone come into contact with the Vinsmokes until tomorrow's tea party. We already have guards on the 3rd floor medical room where Reiju is. I'll just have to count the Vinsmokes and make their fates to count down the minutes. Hey, don't say it out loud, you idiot. That's Montd'Or. So if everybody's got everybody out, like Big Mom's asleep with her fake Brook, Judge is now asleep, Reiju's just kind of watching, just in there. Outside of town, Sanji gives Luffy the food. Like, I didn't tell you to wait. If you can eat this, eat. And Luffy's like just going into it. Like, I dropped along the way, so it's all crushed. And it got rained on, so I'm sure it's terrible. But Luffy just starts eating it up and like just declares that it's good. The best, it's so good. He's got all of our favorites in one box. It's tasty. Sanji just kind of sitting there, like, just looking agonized, liar. Ah, it's good, I nearly scribbled up there. Are you done? Then leave. But, what do you mean, come with me? And at this point, Sanji starts kind of counting off things a bit. First of all, the captain of my own ship came all this way to track me down, only for me to insult and hurt him to the best of my ability, despite no resistance from him whatsoever. That means I cannot go back to your ship now. Second of all, counting 2, the old fart who saved my life and the home where I was raised, The seafaring restaurant Baratier is being held hostage in case I don't play along. That means I cannot escape from this wedding. Third of all, the evil family to which I'm related is walking into Big Mom's trap. They'll all be slaughtered in a matter of hours. They are the scum of the earth to whom I know nothing but my hatred, but I cannot bring myself to abandon them to their fate and run away. For these three reasons, I cannot return with the rest of you. Now that you see my side, just get out of here. At this point, Luffy steps in front of Sanji and just decks him. Like, sends him flying into, like, the King Bomb. It looks like there's even a pistol there. Like, gum pistol. Like, Sanji's recovering, Luffy just screams out, "Tell me how you really feel!" And then Sanji is thinking to himself, he's thinking like everybody just wants to eat, they're begging him to get cooking already. He's like, remembering him, like, getting mad at the others, like, making off with their food. Luffy, I want to go back to the Sunny, but I just don't have the guts to run away. Once the ceremony starts, I can't stop any of it on my own, and yet I still want to save those scumbags whom I don't even think of as family. Ah, right. Of course, because that's who you are, Luffy. Which kind of surprises Sanji. He's like, "But you got us. Let's crash this wedding." And then we end up with a little weird thing that One Piece will be off next week. Bugger. And that's where the chapter ends. This is a fine chapter. I thought it. A lot of exposition on this chapter. I think. Like, obviously, like whatever Capone Gang Bades is doing, like it's kind of getting into full gear now. So that's something to look forward to. To be honest, I'd almost kind of forgotten about him. And it does remind me of something I actually remembered hearing on the One Piece podcast a couple weeks ago. They note that Big Mom's top three homies, like Prometheus, Napoleon, and Zeus, they have faces that are actually similar to her own, which gives you some idea of what's made them wonder if homies with similar faces might still be connected to the people their bits of soul were taken from. And with that in mind, Pudding has spent this entire time with a Capone-faced jelly, which makes you wonder if she's got some kind of role to play in all this, or if she's got some kind of gimmick after all. It's too early to say here, because right now everything is looking at like Big Mom as a loyal or Pudding looking at as a loyal daughter to Big Mom. So probably not, but it's something to keep in mind. Peckhams is alive, so that's good to know. Jinbei's telling him that he nearly got killed, but we took care of it. We got him out of place. Alright, silly question here. Has Jinbei always had that scar on his left eye? That's a new one to me. Alright. I don't know if it's just always been there, I just never noticed it, or was there something maybe like post-time skip I didn't spot? Anyway, let's see here. Like I said, it's kind of... I think I've seen people comment before, like wondering if the homies in the rooms were spying on the Vinsmokes, and this page pretty much confirms that, I think. In fact, looking at discussions on the Arlong Park forums for the chapter, someone pointed out that early on with Napoleon, he actually got an active signal from, I guess, presumably other homies. He got a signal that allowed him to relay information to Big Mom. That's how she knew about Brook in the treasure room. So it may well be that that's how they know what's going on in the castle. All the homies communicate to Big Mom. Let's see here. And things are being a little bit slow here. Give me a moment. I'm trying to scroll to the page to kind of recap my own thoughts. Like I said, sorry if I get Niji and Ichiji wrong here. I legitimately cannot remember which is which with these two guys. Anyway, so we're getting off to kind of like the crossing of time here. And then we have Luffy and Sanji's scene. It's like, it's weird how it's made to be so much similar to the scene with Sanji and his mother. Well, in this case, Luffy's presumably being sincere with the whole, "Oh my god, this is tasty" bit of it. We're gonna see it. Sanji kind of lays out his own line of thinking here, like the three things holding him back. I think it's kind of interesting that as much as he hates these people, he just cannot abandon them. Like, I think people have gotten annoyed that this seems to be suggesting we should be sympathetic to the Vinsmokes, but to me, I think it says more about Sanji than it says about them. So, like, Sanji will not leave anybody to rot if he can help it. As much stuff as he talks, he won't just leave people to rot if he can help it. course, Luffy does his thing. He pretty much just forget what's right, forget what you're supposed to do, forget what's right or wrong, etc. What do you want to do? At which point Sanji explains exactly what he wants to do. He wants to go back with them, even if he feels he shouldn't. He wants to return. He wants to return to the Straw Hats. He wants to return to the Sunny, but he just can't leave the Vinsmokes to Big Mom. As much as he hates them, like he just won't abandon them. So Luffy's like, okay, in that case, let's crash the wedding. We'll do this. See here, trying to think now is there anything else I need to bring up on here? I think I got all the points I wanted to get. Let's see here, I'm just kind of running through here. I'll get a few extra little things on here as well, which are kind of cool. Let's see here. So I'm kind of getting a little rambly now. I'm just trying to keep the air keep it from dead air. All right. But yeah, this is a very strong transition chapter. Like I said, this is, I don't know. I assume next chapter next week is going to be where we hit the morning. Either if it doesn't start in the morning, then at least we'll be picking up there pretty soon. Because everything's looking well in hand to start coming together here. Like so, we've got Capone's. Whatever scheme he's got going coming back to this. We've got the rest of the Straw Hats getting their own plans together. We've got Sanji and Luffy on board to do this. So I'm hoping that means that when it comes back in a couple of weeks, we'll have something new to look forward to. Something big to look forward to. It's getting pretty crazy, that's for dang sure. But for now, can't really think of anything else I want to bring up at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and call the review here. Again, that has been One Piece chapter 856, Liar. Till next week, you have a good time, and bye-bye.